give an update on Off to the Races by LZ Silver. I am on chapter 7. So far, I am loving it. I really like the banter between Vaughn and Billy. Vaughn is very much a grumpy man. Like, if you love Heartless, Kate and Willa, they're probably very similar. So I can see the similarities between Kate and Willa from Chestnut Spring series and Vaughn and Billy. They have very similar character traits. The way the story is going, it's going pretty good. It's very fast-paced. Like, you basically see them interact within the first couple chapters already. So yeah, you can tell this is like one of LZ Silver's like earlier books. It's very, I wouldn't say like extremely different, but you can tell just by reading it that it's one of the first few books that she has written. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, because then you get to see the way she improved the writing from the rest of the series. But yeah, do I see this being a 5 stars? I don't think so, but I'm only on chapter 7. I can see this being like a 4.5, 4.25 stars, so we will see. Not her literally. She literally just whipped a man. She literally, like, the whips that you use for horses, she literally used that on the man. For revenge, not for anything, like, sexual. I mean, you go girl, get that man. Who cares about men? I support women's rights and wrongs, okay? Okay. I feel like normally you don't see my hair in a braid, but here we are. But I just want to talk about Off to the Races by LZ Silver. I am on chapter 23, and so far I'm enjoying it, but I know for sure that it is not 5 stars. Like, 100% sure. Because right now, while I do love Billy and Vaughn, I feel like I haven't connected with them fully because, like, you know, they're not, I wouldn't say they're like very bland characters, but there's really not too much of a big personality between the two of them, and it feels like they're just a very standard type of book character. Like, these are characters that I probably wouldn't care about after I finish this book, but I'm still enjoying it so far. Like, I still like the plot, I still like LZ Silver's writing and everything, but I wish for some parts that I feel like it just cuts off randomly and then we just move on to something else, which I, wish it didn't do that, because I feel like there were some parts that I felt like needed to have more explanations or just more scenes. So yeah, I mean, that's really all my thoughts right now. It's not the worst book I've read, but it's not the best book I read. But we're going to continue reading. I'm probably going to finish this today, and then we are going to move on to the next book. I knew this was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen in this book. But I didn't want it to be true. And it did happen, and now I'm mad. I am just mad about what just happened with the plot and how it just took literally a different turn. Like, you said you wouldn't disappoint me. Oh, my heart is breaking right now. Oh my god, I'm so upset. I take it back on what I said about the characters not being relatable. Billy, girl, me and her, we are the same person. Just listen to what she says. What is it about me that is so undesirable? Why does no one ever choose me? Like, really choose me, even when there's nothing in it for them. Even when it's not convenient. This girl is giving Amy March from Little Women. Oh my god. I am so upset with how, like, this section of the book is turning out. I knew something was gonna happen, I had a feeling, but overall still, it makes me so upset that Vaughn did what he did, especially since he knew that she didn't want that to happen, and he still did it anyways to, like, fix his reputation or whatever. And I'm like, can you not see the bigger picture of the person, like, literally standing in front of you? I can't. I literally can't. So I finished Off to the Races. I thought I had a lot left, but it turns out there's actually a novella at the end of this book, which I'm trying to like show you how much there was. Yeah, I had like this much and I thought I had more, but this is a novella for a prequel for Out of the Gate. So I was like, oh, because like when I was just reading, it just ended really abruptly and I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is how the book just ends, I guess. But my rating for this, I think, is gonna be a 3.75 star. It's not my favorite LZ Silver book, but to be fair, this is, I think, her first book anyway, so we can give her the benefit of the doubt. And I still love her books anyway, so it was nice to read this and kind of, you know, see how she started and now to where she is, which I'm so like happy for her. But I really want to know the backstory of Vaughn and Billy more. I felt like we could have gotten more information about that, especially Billy, because in the prologue it talks about her past life like 10 years ago, and it is somewhat mentioned in the rest of the book, but it's not very like expanded on, so I wish we got more of that. And with Vaughn, I felt like he was just a very basic character. Like, I did not really care for him as much, and what he did towards the end of the book, I really didn't like that. So yeah, to be honest, I think she had more of a connection with the horse than Vaughn. I'm just gonna say that right now. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next book. I'm happy I did read this though, so yeah, let's move on. So I have two books that I think I want to read next for this video. I have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and then I have an art copy of Enigma by Runex. I think that's how you say the author's name. And if I do read this, I'm probably not going to say too much about this because it doesn't go on sale until very much like later in the year. So I don't want to say anything that might be spoilers. So yeah, if I'm reading this one, you're probably not going to hear too much about my thoughts and everything because I just don't want to spoil anything. This is A Twisted Hades and Persephone meets the enthralling suspense of the secret history in a dark academia tale of unforgettable, legendary love. So yeah, I mean, first of all, dark academia, love dark academia. The secret history, love the secret history. So that's why I'm thinking maybe this book might be a 5 stars. And I haven't read anything by this author yet. I know they've written like some other books that are very popular. Example right here. I'm kind of excited about this one. But The 7-Year Slip is also a very popular Booktok book, and I've heard amazing things about this. I love Ashley's books. I love a novel love story. I didn't like the Dev Romantics, but it was still good. But I've heard amazing things about this, so I feel like I don't know what I'm in the mood for, if I want like a dark academia book or just like a cute romance book. We'll see. I will decide later. I'm kind of hungry right now, so I'm gonna make food and I will be right back. And hopefully I will have made a decision. Okay, I am back and I think we are gonna be reading Enigma by Runex because I feel like I don't want to just read rom-coms for this video, and I feel like usually sometimes the books that I don't expect to be a 5-star actually become a 5-star. So, you know, I'm excited for this. I mean, I haven't heard much because obviously it hasn't come out yet, but you will see my reaction and everything. I just will not say quotes or like that just because I don't want to spoil anything. So yeah, you're gonna read this and we're gonna have some fun with this. I am excited. The synopsis is: Salem comes to Montmere University to get to the bottom of her sister's mysterious death. They are obsessed with forensics. She discovers that there has been a lot more unexplained deaths on the campus. Her search leads her down a dark and dangerous path to her powerful secret society and to Kaz. Casimir is in her way and another mystery to unravel. Is he just an art student, a man living a double life, or a murderer? While also at the university seeking answers for another death, Kaz has a lot more to him than meets the eye. Dangerous forces are at play at Monomir and no one is safe. As Salem tries to stay under the radar and Kaz tries to block her path, somehow they both end up in the crosshairs of the secret society. They are forced to work together to discover the truth and risk losing their lives. So, yeah, I feel like that is a really good description. I really want to know what happens, and anything with secret society, love that so much. So, let's start reading. Okay, so I want to give a reading update on Enigma by Runex. I am on page 33 right now. I'm just taking it slow. I am enjoying it though, actually. There is a little bit of like a mystery aspect in this, which I really like. So I'm excited to see what really happens. I really do want to say more, but obviously I can't. Like, this doesn't go until April, and it's only February. So I don't want to say too much about what happens in this book, but just know that I am enjoying it right now. But I do want to say that I kind of relate to our main character, Selma. This is me editing right now, and I'm like, why did I say her name like that? It's Salem. Why did I say her name like that? That's so embarrassing. I'm not gonna say, why, because it's gonna be spoilers. So, yeah, just know I do relate to her, and I'm having a fun time reading this. I feel like this is a book that a lot of people would definitely love, so definitely pick it up when it is released. I also want to say happy Valentine's Day. I'm kind of wearing like a pink-ish cardigan, kind of. So if you celebrate Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to you. But I'm going to continue reading because this is my plans for today. Just to finish this and see what happens, because it's not that long of a book. So yeah. Oh my god, what the heck. Okay. So I want to give an update on Enigma by Runex. I am this much in right now. I don't really want to say the chapter or the page number just in case it might maybe spoil like where I am right now, but this is how much I read and this is how much I have left. But right now it's pretty slow, not much is happening, but we're still getting to know our characters and the mystery of like why specific things are happening. And also we have our main female character and main male character, Salem and Kaz. Kaz is kind of like a grumpy, moody tattoo MMC, and Salem is the curious girl who really wants to figure out why there's so many deaths at the school, and she's also interested in like forensic and criminology, psychology, all of that. So I feel like her and I are pretty similar with that, because I also majored in criminology and I have a degree in criminology, so that's kind of funny. The setting and atmosphere, it's so like dark academia, like gothic. Like, I'm just imagining this like old school, very foggy, very dark, very just like eerie, like that type of feeling. I'm gonna insert a picture that's gonna like give someone of an example of what I feel like when I read this book, and I love it so much. Hopefully the mystery will pick up, because I really am kind of curious of what's gonna happen, and also how Salem and Kaz are gonna be together. I'm just very curious about the whole thing, because I'm just getting to know the setting and all the schooling and all of that right now, so nothing crazy. So I want to give an update on Enigma by Runex. I am this much, I read this much, and I have this much left. So I'm almost halfway-ish, and so far I am enjoying it. I really like the mystery, thriller aspect of this instead of the romance. I feel like the romance is kind of like a subplot, which is kind of crazy, but I don't know, there's something about Kaz that I don't really like him. Like, I get that all these sirens, I don't think you can even hear me right now. I'm just gonna have to wait. I don't know, there's something about Kaz that I don't really like him. I don't know why, because I feel like he is every typical, built book boyfriend. He has tattoos, he is a grumpy, broody why did I say Brody? It's Broody MMZ. And I feel like that's literally every other character in the world. So I'm like, why do I not like him? I don't know, there's something about him that like throws me off. But I love Salem. I think she's a character I just relate to so much. Like, this girl, anything she was saying, I was like, that is me right now. You are speaking my language. So if you're like an extreme introvert, like you were a shy kid growing up, you are gonna love Salem because she's just a relatable character. And also, this is supposed to be like a twist of Hades and Persephone's. I don't know if that's true while reading it, because do I see it? No. But maybe I haven't gotten to the part where it's supposed to kind of represent Hades and Persephone. I'm gonna continue reading. I'm probably gonna finish this tonight because I'm almost like halfway. So I have nothing else to do today, and we're just gonna continue reading. This is probably my last update for Enigma because I am almost finished. I have maybe less than 100 pages to go, so we're almost done. Okay, I have warmed up to Kaz. Okay, I have warmed up to him. I think I like him, but still I feel like the story, it's not anything like new. I feel like we've seen this type of story before with Secret Society, Dark Academia, all of that, and I probably read similar books with this similar, you know, storyline. So I'm not like shocked when there was stuff happening. I was like, oh, I've already, you know, guessed that earlier when I was reading. So yeah, I don't think it's my favorite book. I do like the vibes, I really do. Personally for me, I felt like we just got more long descriptions of random things and thoughts of Salem and stuff like that, instead of actually like working ahead with the mystery and thriller aspect. Because I'm like, isn't that the whole point of the whole story? Is to find out why her sister is dead. And I feel like I have so little left to read, and we haven't discovered too much. Like, there's some things, but I'm not like shocked. I'm not like, oh my god, like, yeah, well, that was expected. So yeah, I do love Salem, but I'm like, girl, I just want to get to the actual plot and storyline. So for me, this is feeling like there's a lack of plot, but more of a character. Like, it's very character driven, I would say, instead of plot driven, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna finish reading. I have been watching Lost. I don't even know that TV show, but I've just been playing on Netflix on my TV. So yeah, I've been distracted with both things, but we are gonna be finishing this soon, and I will give my overall thoughts and my rating as well. And also the next book that we're gonna read for this video, because obviously this is not 5-star. This might be a long video, I don't know. It takes me a while to find a 5-star, but we will see. Okay, I finished Enigma by Renix, and my rating for this, I thought it was gonna be like a 4.5, 4.75 star. No, I think it's gonna be a 3 star, 3.25 star, somewhere there. I will have decided when you see the rating on the screen somewhere, but right now it's between a 3-star and a 3.25 star. Going into this, I really liked the beginning. I would say, even though it was slow, I still liked it because I felt like Salem was a very relatable character. And then when Kaz came into the picture, didn't really like it, but still really liked the mystery part. But then as time went on, the plot, I don't know where the plot was going. The plot was, she was somewhere else. She was not in this book. She was somewhere else. Like, literally, the ending made it worse. The ending is why it went down to a 3-star, because I just could not understand why all that build up was for nothing. For nothing. Like, it just wasn't good. I needed more. It said the enthralling suspense of the secret history. Girl, the secret history, even though they were all like crazy in the secret history, that plot was still amazing. What Donna wrote was amazing, and for some reason this just did not work. Like, it is dark academia, but I wouldn't say it's like crazy dark academia. It's like a very like basic level of it. Like yes, there is like the surrounding, the setting of being in a school that has like higher education, like very pretentious and everything like that. But I'm like, the characters weren't that, you know, like they weren't like very pretentious or anything. They were very like pretty normal characters, to be honest. Like it wasn't anything crazy. There is talk about death in this book, which is like the big topic for this book, so I can see how it still falls under the dark academia genre. But for me, it just, you know, this is not dark academia for me. When I think of dark academia, I think of like The Secret History, If You're a Villains, like all of that, like talking about Greek study, literature, all of that, you know. I felt like this one was just not really it. Because honestly, did they even go to school? I don't even know. Like, I have no idea if they went to school because they were just there. It's like they were just there. It's like those TV shows where they go to school, but are they really going to school? Because they're just there. They're just there for the vibes. So that's how it felt while reading this. I wish it just took more of a darker approach. I felt like this was such a tame version of a dark romance, dark academia book. So I wish it delved more into just like, I'm not explaining it. Like, I have the thoughts in my head, but I can't explain it. Like, hopefully this somehow makes sense. But I think what stood out in this book is Salem. I think Salem's loneliness, depression, like just feeling like she is meant to be alone in this world and she cannot find anyone, truly feels like no one understands her. And so that's why I feel like that's why it's still a 3-star, because Salem is literally the best thing out of this whole book. I would just want a book about Salem. Honestly, like I do not care about the rest of the characters. Like Kaz and Salem definitely had their cute moments, but then after he would say something weird and then I was like, it just threw me off. So yeah, but that is my thoughts and opinions about this book. I mean, you could definitely still read it. I think it's still a good book. Like, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not on my radar. It's definitely a book I just would not talk about again. So that's all I'm saying. But the next book I think we're gonna be reading is Bear Town by Frederick Bachman. I read a little bit of it, like up to like page 4. Like, I really haven't gotten that far, and I've heard amazing things about this. I've tried to read one of his books before, A Man Called Ovi, but I don't know why I just like randomly stopped reading that. Like I enjoyed it, I really liked it, but I just stopped reading it. But I've heard Beartown is amazing, so I'm excited for this one. This is about a small town that it's like a hockey town, which I feel like, you know, resonates with me because I live in Vancouver and this is like a hockey city. Like, this city dies for the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, I'm also a hockey fan, so like I understand where they're all coming from. And then something happens in this small town that changes everything for everyone. So I'm excited to get into this. I really don't know anything much about it besides what I just said. So yeah, but I've heard literally amazing things about this. All my mutuals have liked it. All the booktubers, booktalkers that I really love, they loved it. So I'm so excited to get into this. And yeah, I think this will be a 5 stars. I don't know. I have a feeling, like, you know, like the 4 pages that I read, I was hooked still. Like, I really liked it. I think the intro to this book is really good and interesting because literally chapter 1. Late one evening towards the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barrel shotgun, walked into the forest, put the gun to someone else's forehead, and pulled the trigger. This is the story of how we got there. I mean, I feel like that's very, like, intriguing. It pulls the reader into the story of, like, well, you want to know what happens. Because, like, why is someone pulling a trigger to someone's forehead? And it's also a teenager who is doing that. So, yeah, I'm really excited. But I'm gonna go make dinner first because I'm hungry. And then I'll probably read this later tonight. So, yeah. So I want to give an update on Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I am on page 62, and so far I am really enjoying it. I really love how Bachman describes the town. Like, it feels like I'm actually there. I feel very immersed into the story. The thing I also love about this book is that we're not just following one main character, we're following multiple characters. I mean, which obviously it's called Bear Town. It would make sense to follow multiple characters instead of just one main character. But I like how each character has a very unique personality trait and their own personal struggles that they go through with life. There are so many characters that are struggling because of hockey. Obviously, this is a hockey town, but there's also other people who are struggling because of how hockey has affected their loved ones. So, yeah, there is a lot in this. I really love some of the quotes. I have underlined some stuff. There's so many, like, not extremely sad scenes, but there's scenes where it's like, you feel it in your heart, where you're like, damn, that really hurts. There's this one scene where Kira, she is the wife of Peter, and Peter is this, like, used to be this, like, amazing hockey player, and now he is the general manager for the Beartown hockey team. When her kids are asleep or members of the family are sleeping, Kira, she still goes around the house and counts them. Her own mother always did that with her children, Kira and her 5 siblings, counting them every night. Her mother says she didn't understand how anyone could have children and not do that, how anyone could live without being terrified of losing them at any moment. And I feel like that is a foreshadowing of something that's going to happen in the future. But that scene just breaks my heart. Those are my 2 cents right now, but I'm going to continue reading and I will probably give you more updates later. I'm so sad. I am so sad. This book has made me cry already. And I'm mentally not prepared to basically go into the story. Like, I am not even halfway yet. And I'm devastated right now. I'm devastated. And I just thought this book was about hockey. No, it's not. It's how will I recover? I don't even know if I could continue reading because it's making me so upset with this book. Like, early on, I was loving the characters, and now I hate the characters. Some specific characters, I hate them. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm just so sad. Like, everything that's happening right now, I am feeling it in my heart. I was so happy earlier in the beginning, and now I'm so sad. What am I doing? It's literally 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. What am I doing? I have this much left. I just woke up. It is like 12 p.m. because I slept at 3 a.m. to finish Bear Town. And obviously my rating for this is gonna be a 5 stars. We have found our first 5-star of the year. I am so happy, especially with this book, because this was truly amazing. The second that it became 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., I was like, I would not do this for like any other regular book that wasn't going to be a 5-star. So I knew right away this was going to be a 5-star. And I'm so happy that I read it because all these characters, I'm fully invested into their world. Like, I love them so much. You really follow multiple people in this one town. Like, there's so many characters, but it's not like to the point where you're confused of, the characters. Like, you really know them individually because the first 100-200 pages Bachman, shows you their like daily lives and their daily struggles, and also how hockey has affected them, whether it could be a positive or a negative thing. So yeah, like you really get to know them, like 200 pages in, like he really describes the character to you, so you know which character is which, what personality trait they have, what struggles they're going through. So you really know. But what happens in this book, definitely read trigger warnings. I'm not gonna say it because it could be deemed as a spoiler, so if you want to search up trigger warnings, you can. There are dark topics that are talked about in this book, which I think are really important to read about, especially the fact that this still happens today with like the politics, Me Too movement, LGBTQ plus community, all of that. So definitely a book that still, you know, resonates with today. Anything that Backman was saying, I was like, this is extremely true. Like, I've underlined so many quotes and scenes that were just happening because I was like, this is the saddest thing, and unfortunately this is our reality, which is crazy to think about. But like, it's also not crazy to think about because this is literally real life. The thing I really resonated with this book was because I am a hockey fan, so I felt like the way that the women were described in the book on how men perceive them was so accurate. Because if you know, there's a term called puck buddies, which a lot of men, I would say, use for women. For women who, you know, just want to sleep with hockey players or just think hockey players are hot. Like they think women are not actually interested in the game. And this quote that like happens in this book, I'm gonna read it to you. Girls aren't allowed to like hockey even just a little bit in Beartown. Ideally, they shouldn't like it at all, because if you like the sport, you must be a lesbian, and if you like the players, you're a slut. And there's no women's team here, so they learn that hockey only belongs to them, and their coaches teach them that the girls are a distraction. So they learn that girls only exist for fucking. Yeah, I mean, that really resonated with me because I'm like, that is so true. NHL now has the PWHL, the Women's Hockey League, and there was a game like that in Vancouver, which was really fun to see because all these little girls get to see women actually playing hockey, and they actually see that women can play hockey. But there obviously will always still be men who think women should, you know, not be interested in hockey. But overall, what I'm trying to say is that everything in this book really resonates with real life, and these are topics that are still talked about to this day. And there are, yeah, like, I really don't know what else to say besides the fact that you need to read this book right now. I don't know if I'm going to read the next one because I felt like the ending and everything, the way it wrapped up, I was actually happy with how it wrapped up. But I will see, because I think there's like mixed feelings about book 2 and book 3. But we will see if I read those. You'll probably see that in the reading vlog sometime soon. But that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was really fun to make. So if you want more videos like this, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!